Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. So this is gonna be an half an hour live stream. I just want to share a few information with you guys, and then I will be out of here. And once you come back to watch later, please feel free to like, share, and drop your comments because I know everybody's going helter skelter trying to find information, and I found this information yesterday. And the reason why I've brought it is because obviously, like I said, disclaimer, I am not an immigration officer. I am not an immigration lawyer. So hence why I am not giving any immigration advice. However, I know a couple of people were asking questions, and this question has been asked a few times. And I think the question was if the changes in the indefinite leave to remain, if it's going to impact those who are already here. Hello, Purpose Woman, welcome. I was meant to do this an hour ago, but I was watching this Nos Gloria on Princess Media. So I guess a few questions that people have asked is the question of if the indefinite leave, the changes to the indefinite leave to remain, people were asking if it was going to affect those who are already on that route now. So for example, those who have maybe a year to go before they apply for the ILR. And then also there's been questions about obviously the changes include, hello Harley, the changes that the UK Prime Minister announced in the white paper involves obviously the fact that is wanting they are wanting integration, and they felt like for people to integrate they have to speak English, skills requirements and stuff like that. And I believe if you're already speaking English, you integrating is not going to be difficult. Like, I know if you're in a country, as long as you're able to understand and speak the language, trust me, you'll be absolutely fine. So, and then obviously they did mention something about the global visa, the global talent visa. Nothing has really been mentioned in regards to that. Like, are they stopping it? Are they extending it? Or is there going to be a new requirement? Nothing has really been explained in the white paper, but obviously they mentioned it. And also with the English test. So ideally before, the English test would normally be required from the main applicant, but from that new release in the white paper, so it seems that a dependent would also be required to show evidence of English language test. So I don't know if dependents below the age of 18 will be required to sit an English language test. I don't know that they've not really clarified that a lot, because dependent, a lot of people could fall within the dependent rate. So the other partner might be the dependent, it could be an adult, and the dependent could be children. So that aspect, that's another aspect that I don't really understand. Like, will they require English test from children below the age of 18, or is it going to be everybody? So obviously lots of explanations is still required from that aspect. And guys, I know a lot of you are asking, oh, how soon is it going to be? These changes is going to take a while. Okay, these changes is going to take a while. It's not, obviously they've announced it, and it does not mean that it's going to be starting today. It's going to take a while, because they're still going to pass them through different stages. It's going to pass through different processes before it now gets, but obviously it's been thrown out there, so people know what to expect. So with that being said, also the care worker visa, which is the main thing, they've only stopped that till 2028, and they believe that by 2028 they will review it. And the other the other parties are already saying that there's already like over 150,000 vacancies in healthcare under labor. So now they are now stopping the care visa, care worker visa. So which means that which means that the vacancy is going to be like a huge pothole, and how are they going to be able to fill it? And the way it is, homebred, like, is it homebred? I think there's a word to kind of like quantify Britons, like homegrown citizens are not willing to do that job, because obviously it's a lesser pay. So currently now they've stopped the care worker visa, and like I said, they've only stopped that for 3 years. Abby said, I need a break from you too from next week. Going on leave, please. Waka kuru, you go the post, you go the waka kuru kere. So the care worker visa, obviously they've stopped that, and they've obviously not stopped it permanently. They've only stopped it for 3 years, and I believe after 3 years they're going to review that and then decide again if it's something they want to open back up again. And then obviously it depends if it's going to even last that long. That it depends if they're able to fill all the hole that is already vacant in the care system. So with that being said, I found a few videos actually explaining if the white paper, the 10 years ILR, if it's going to affect people who are currently on it. So for example, people are already here and it's their 3rd year before they go, so they only have 2 years before they apply for ILR. A lot of people have asked that question. So let me share this video, which I found, and I actually found it last night, which I think answered that question. Okay, let me share my screen with you guys so you guys can hear it yourself. And then from there, I'm going to discuss, obviously, I found Keir Starmer's page on let me stop sharing. So where is this page? Let me stop sharing just now so I can find the page. I find Keir Starmer's Facebook page, and I was like, okay, it says some things there, so we're going to be getting there soon. But let me quickly find that video and let me share my screen with you guys. Please like as you come in. I'm only open to be here for about half an hour. Okay, I just want us to share this and then move on to something else. So, like I said, there's a video I found that is asking exactly that same question. I think one of the members asked that question yesterday. So, I hope this helps. So,
a place where so many people from around the world have chosen to make their home. A place where so many people contribute to our community day in, day out. Since this announcement, Madam Deputy Speaker, I've been contacted by several constituents who are currently on a work visa and looking at their path for a way for indefinite leave to remain. They are understandably worried, Home Secretary, about where this uncertainty leaves them. They're worried about their future plans. One even told me that they are worried and they're considering leaving the UK because their settled status here is under jeopardy. So can the Home Secretary please outline whether this policy applies to people who are already living and working in the UK, or will it just be to new visa applicants?
Home Secretary. Well, thank the honourable friend for her question, and she is right to say that there are people working in all kinds of jobs across the country, contributing to our economy and to our communities who have travelled here from all over the world, and that is hugely important. We will set out further details of the earned settlement and citizenship reforms later this year, and we will consult on them. So there will be plenty of opportunity for people to comment on and consider the detail. But it is important that we have extend the sense of contributions and a points-based system to those reforms as well. We have also said that we will maintain the current 5-year period for those who have come on a dependence visa or a family visa as well, as part of maintaining families.
Liberal Democrat spokesperson Lisa Smart, Vauxhall Campbell Green.
So as you guys heard there, that they would maintain the current one, they would maintain the current 5-year visa for dependents. So I believe this video has answered the question of the people who are asking if it's going to affect them. So you guys heard there that they would maintain the system, the 5-year route, ILR route for those who are still here. So I believe this, like I said, that it's going to take a while for these things to be implemented. So I believe this new rule is going to affect those who are just. So if you enter the UK today with a dependent visa, so automatically it will take you 10 years to get your ILR. So that's basically, so if you enter the UK after it has been passed and all of that, it's going to impact. So I believe that's answered your question. And also there's also a video of is it Jeremy Corbyn, which I found, and it was quite fun to watch. It was quite fun to watch. So this is the video.
But the Home Secretary explained why in the introduction of this white paper.
And it's basically saying migrants are not the Britain's enemy. Like migrants, they are not enemies, because at the end of the day, you invited these migrants to come in. They've come to start helping. They've not even moaned about the fact that you're not even paying them enough, because, like I said, Britain's homeborn Britons are saying the wages they pay is too low. That's why they're not doing the job. But however, migrants are happy to do the job. So Britons are saying that it's because the wages they are being paid for such jobs is not what they should be paid. That is more reason why they are not doing these jobs. So let's just listen to, because it was quite fun listening to him anyway.
The language of Enoch Powell was used by the Prime Minister. There's been no speaking up about the enormous value of migration to this country that's kept our NHS running, our education service running, and so much more, and that there are already 130,000 vacancies in the care sector. Does anything in her white paper do anything to improve community relations or deal with the now labour shortage within the NHS and the care service, or is it all about trying to please these people who unfortunately sit in front of me?
And the people sitting in front of him were Sir Nigel Farage and a few people. I just found like all this Baba, like it was like, oh, is it trying to please, unfortunately, these people sitting in front of me? It was fun when I was watching it. I just thought I would just bring that up. So you guys saw the people sitting in front of him there. Anyways, with that being said, the main cocoa of this live stream was Keir Starmer saying that you need to earn being in here. It is not an entitlement. And yes, people in the comment section, especially why, you know what? I don't know why Nigerians, when anything comes to immigration, I don't know why we always take it personal, because at the end of the day, this is going to affect everybody who have come from abroad to come work in the UK. It's not just mainly about Nigerians alone. And I don't know why Nigerians always like, no, I mean, some of you might not agree with it, but that's just how I feel. Like, I don't know why we always take this personal as if, oh, they're just wanting. It's not really about Nigerians. It's about everybody and anyone who have come from abroad out of the UK to come and work. The purpose woman said, even if they increase the wages, they are people. Exactly. You know what? I'm even done having that argument with some of them that have been dropping comments in my comment section. Even if they increase the wages, some of them will still not work. Because like I said, some of them are getting benefits up to almost £3,000 every month. And you can imagine, why would somebody like that want to go and work when you can get benefits up to £3,000 every month? When if you work full time, there's no chance you're going to go home with £3,000. I've told you guys how many times here, after tax, I go home with just over £2,000. That's me working 37.5 hours every week. So I go home with just £100 over £2,000. So some will still not work, even if they've increased their pay, because they were like, I can easily get 3 grand on benefits, especially those who have children. I can easily get £3,000 if I don't work on benefits. So why should I go work? Some obviously they don't want to depend. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some even with the low wages. Yeah, we see we have a lot of them as colleagues, just as they have me as colleagues as well. But there are some who would rather not work and they'll just keep having babies. Some will just keep having babies. Some will just keep having babies. And also, this does not even apply to Britons alone. I've seen even some migrants, some Africans that I know that, you know what, when it's time for her to go to work, like it is in the UK, once your first child or once your last child is of school age, like they turn 4 and they go to school, automatically the government would expect you to start actively searching for a job. And don't get me wrong, I've seen some migrants who are actually taking advantage of these things. Yeah, they're like, oh, rather than work, they'll just get pregnant again. You easily know people like that. It's the way some Britons are milking the system, the way some migrants are also milking the system. So it's not only migrants that are milking the system. In my area here, there's a lady that I know. She's a Scottish woman. In 5 years, she has 4 children. And you need to see them cocoa like that. I see them in the lift almost every day. And I was actually mad at, was he on Monday there? I was going to, no, it was not Monday, it was last week. I was trying to catch the bus because I was going for my jury's duty. I was at the lift, and 2 of our children met me at the lift. So they were tiny. So I got into the lift, and they were holding the lift for their mom to come. And I was like, I'm sorry, guys. I really need to press down for this lift. I really need to go. Like, who are you holding the lift for? So they were like, we're waiting for my mom. And I'm like, well, your mom's not here yet. Maybe you should step back a little bit and once your mom come, then you can go on the lift. So they were practically holding the lift for their mom. And I'm like, guys, like I said, can you just maybe either come into the lift so we go down together, or you step away from the lift till your mom comes, and then I'll send the lift back up. They were holding, so it was when I was trying to cajole them to like, let's take this lift down. Their mom came and she was like, what's going on? I'm like, well, that's you've delayed me for 3 minutes. And she was like, oh, but others hold the lift. I'm like, I don't care. I am not the one who holds the lifts. So your children, you should not be holding the lift. If you're not ready to come out of your flat to get onto the lift, why are you holding the lift? Like, I was so mad, and I actually filed a complaint to my housing officer that, you know what, if people are doing this, it is not acceptable. If you're not ready to get on the lift, don't hold the lift for somebody, you know. So with that being said, like I said, this is a Scottish woman, 4 children in the space of 5 years, and I've been living in this flat for 7.5 years. So I've known her that long. When I newly moved here, she only had just the baby, and before I knew it, I've seen her each and every time she's fallen pregnant. And I've also seen a migrant as well in the same position. This one, we worked in a care home years ago together, and then she moved into my building. In a pace of 3 years, she has 3 children. I don't know how she did. She was like back to back. So those children that she has, they're like maybe less than a year in between them. And I'm like for God's sake, 3 kids in 3 freaking years. I won't be surprised in the next 6 months if I see her with another pregnancy. I won't be surprised. So is the way some migrants are milking the system is the same way some homebred, homeborn are also milking the system. So yes, migrants are contributing. Migrants really need to be respected as well, because like I said, some of the reason why some homeborn are not doing this job is because they don't pay well. And it is not all jobs that get pay rise every year. Like, how many times have I come here to say bills are increasing every day, bills are increasing every month, every year, but the wages are not increasing. So how do they expect us to, you know, cover up the shortfalls, obviously, from the increase of stuff every year? I've always come out here to say that. So that's just that. Anyway, he had this to say, and yes, people are, like I said, Nigerians should stop making it about Nigerians. It's really not about Nigerians. Obviously, a few of the things that they've introduced, I quite agree with some of them, and I don't quite agree with some of them. And obviously, the live stream I did yesterday were like, okay, they've not actually addressed those who are coming in through the undocumented route. So when I say the undocumented route, people who are coming via the ships, via the boats, because they could be criminals coming in. But then migrants who are actually coming through the visas you've made available for people to apply through, you are now going to stop them from coming in. Yes, there's no issue in him trying to make sure that homebred or homeborn Britons are being given the chance, given the opportunity. Hence why I said I agree with him wanting that even children and young adults can go into apprenticeship, because it's not every teenager or every adult that would go to university. Some just don't have the capacity or the power or the strength for university. But if they could go into apprenticeship, and I've always even come here to say apprenticeship is very, very difficult to get. Like, the competition to get into apprenticeship, the struggle to get into apprenticeship is not even for here. So let me read your comment. I think I saw a few people, and I can see somebody is trying to be a nuisance in the comment section, and then you've received rapture. Good for you that you receive rapture. Abby, you deserve a break, okay? So Purpose Woman said, even if they increase the wages, there are people who are just not willing to. Oh, yes. Brits come first in the UK. Maybe you should go and argue that with your government. Nobody's holding you. At least when I apply for my nursing job, I apply just as every other thousands of colleagues who are working. So we apply, you pitch your tent. If you want something, you pitch your tent. If you want something, you apply for it. But then it's whoever has the skills, the experience that should be given the job. The job should not be because you are a British. Job should be given to you. No. If you have the skills, and if your skill supersedes my skill, then you can have the job. But just because you are a Brit and my skills for that particular job supersede yours, I should get the job. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. Anson said to get Nigerian citizenship is 15 years residency in Nigeria. Britain in comparison is only in 10 years. Well, you are free to go to Nigeria and get the citizenship. We will not drag it from you. we will not drag it from you. Answer, fair is fair. Nigerians need to force political change. I agree with you. Yes, we need to force political change, and obviously, for that to happen, there's a new motion that is moving now in Nigeria, and I just hope each and every Nigerian will stand up to it and just chip in as well, because like I said, in building back Nigeria, it cannot be done by one person. It cannot be done by one person. Hello, OJ, welcome. Exactly. Merit, skills, zeal to work. Absolutely. That's it. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly run through this post, and then like I said, I only want to be here for half an hour, and that'll be it. So obviously, he did say he said settlement in the UK is a privilege that is earned, not a right. So you've opened a visa route for people to come in, obviously the care worker visa and a variety of visas, and that was because there's shortages of staffs for those roles. So people have now come in, okay, and people like this have come in, worked their butts off for 5 years. They've not claimed any benefit whatsoever. They've not claimed any public funds, and you are now taking the chance for them to be able to get their ILR. You are now looking to extend that to 10 years, which you've already done. Well, if Kemi Badnoch will have her way, she wants that to be 15 years. So for somebody who have actually maybe brought their dependent, and like I said, some that are coming here, so those who are students, so those who are care worker, those who came through the care worker visas, if you're not a nurse, a doctor, or an engineer, you will not be able to bring your dependent. But if you come through as maybe a care worker that is looking for COS or something, you might not be able to bring your family with you. But this person has now gone on to work for 5 years. They've paid their taxes. They've chipped in everything. They've reported to work as always, work, which is what they've come to do without claiming any public funds. And now you're now telling them that, oh, you will not be able to ask for higher in another 10 years. I think that's cruel. It's not fair. It's not fair because you opened that channel for them to come. And that was what you promised them, and now you're now backtracking. At the end of the day, if Ombron can actually do those jobs, you wouldn't have opened those visa route for migrants to come in. And like everybody has been saying, I don't think there's any world, I don't think there's any population or any country that is thriving without migrants being in there. And I've seen videos and stories from in the House of Parliament, people who are saying that they had a heart surgery and it was done by a migrant. That they had a cardiologist who carried out their cabbage and it was done by a migrant. That they've had lung surgery, it was done by a migrant. So if these people were not in, those people are now sharing stories of being alive after having a serious surgery being done by a migrant. They probably wouldn't have lived if these migrants were not here. Just saying. So people who have come here, like I said, they are not claiming benefit, they are not claiming any public funds, and you're now saying you're going to take that away. They have felt like for the fact that they've come in, they've not claimed benefit for those 5 years. I believe they've earned it. They are not asking if it is their right. It is just what this country has promised to give to them. So they've come in for 5 years, they've not claimed benefits, they've showed up, they've paid taxes, they've stayed out of trouble, they've not committed any crimes, and you're now saying no. It is not. They've not said it's their right. They already earned it. I'm sorry, they already earned it. And then, yeah, like I said, Nigerians are not happy. And he went on to say, I'm backing Britain's young people. We are charging employers more to recruit from overseas, obviously. And if they do, they must prove they are investing in British workers and increasing British skills. I don't think employers need to prove anything because every comment, everywhere I see a post about this white paper, there's at least a few Britons there saying, well, the jobs, they don't pay well. They don't pay well. They don't pay well. That's why we are not doing the jobs. And they rather sit on the door. Some of them would rather sit on the door than do the job that is paying less. And I did say to somebody that, you know what, even though you are saying that they don't pay you more, these migrants that are coming in, for the fact that they even have a job to come to, that's a win for them, migrants. And that if you look at the pay, the wages at the end of the day, like me now, say for example, one of my pay slip is here. One of my pay slip is here. Let me see my pay slip for the month of April. Is this for, no, that's for January. I think, let me see the one for April. So the one for March before deductions was £3,080. Now, as a Nigerian that I am, so this was before deductions. If I convert £3,000 to Nigerian naira, let me just quickly do that calculation. Convert £3,000 to naira. That's almost 6.5 million naira. That's me in Nigeria, a millionaire. That's me in Nigeria, a millionaire. And people will do this for me. But then if I go to Nigeria to go work as a nurse, do you think I will even earn 1/4 of that? Do you think I would earn 1/4 of that? No, I would not earn 1/4 of that. So that's why all of these migrants that are coming, for the fact that they even have the chance to go to a job and they're able to get a pay at the end of the month. And then when you convert that money, that pay they got here, once they convert it to Nigerian currency, it's millions. Millions. And yes, I know they will often say, oh, don't compare the wages in Nigeria to this. But then this migrant, I'm saying now, I'm speaking on behalf of, on the fact that I'm a Nigerian. So now a newly person that has just arrived, and before deduction, like I said, that was before deductions. Okay, even after deductions, I'll still probably be going over with about maybe 5.5 million naira as a nurse. But then, would any hospital in Nigeria pay me 5 million naira monthly? Hell no. Even a consultant don't get paid 5 million naira in Nigeria. So, like I said, this was a March, my payslip for the month of March. My payslip for the month of March, and I'm not lying about anything. I'm not lying about anything. I don't know if you guys can see it. That's the pay there. That's the pay there. So after deductions, I'm going on with 2,268. And anybody that has calculator, convert 2,300 pounds to Nigerian naira. That's a lot of money. Let me do that calculation actually. Convert 2,300 pounds to naira. That's, let's round it up. That's 5 million naira. Is there any hospital in Nigeria that will pay me as a nurse 5 million naira? Hell no. So you can imagine such person who's already a nurse in Nigeria coming into the exactly almost 5 million. So you can imagine a nurse who's left Nigeria to come here having to earn that much money. And you, so I don't know. The purpose woman said, I was able to get apprenticeship in business admin years ago with the Whitley Group. Oh yeah, before I eventually started studying law. Till today, that apprenticeship I still did helps me. Yes, I even tried to get my kids up onto it, but they are not interested in apprenticeship. I might maybe pitch it to my last daughter. Maybe she might be interested because she's the one who would know, who would pretty much do almost everything, you know. Yeah, apprenticeship is great, and I don't know why there's a lot of, obviously there's been migrants who are here for years, their kids are grown, so it's more or less like migrants who are here and homebred kids are kind of like fighting to get a place on the apprenticeship, which is understandable. But then we are here, you know. Welcome, Princess Media. Hellos, you know. In the US, employers have to ask to prove. I think in a way, it's going to help if employers have to prove. It's going to help in all of these selling of COS. Obviously, there's been a lot of scammers in this talk of COS. So in a way, if they have to prove, then I will see the end of scammers who are selling COS. So that's the only way that I think that would help. So there won't be just anybody that has a care woman now recruiting and sending COS to everybody. So which means that way they'll be able to know, okay, that is what you need this staff. Okay, they'll be able to justify why you are recruiting all of those people. So which definitely makes sense. The purpose woman said, when I was getting induced during birth, they wanted to put a cannula into my hand. The midwife and doctor really struggled. See how they were poking me. See, if you ask me to come and put a Venflo in your hand, I will run. I can't. Maybe because I don't do it often in my department. It was part of my training, and I've taken the training a few times at work, but because I don't practice it often, and most of the anesthetists, they wouldn't allow a nurse to because it's their duty. So there are some skills as well that as a nursing student that we learned that as a nurse I've never had to use. I've got the skills, I've got the training, I've never had to use. So if you ask me now to come and put a Venflon, I will say, I'm sorry, I will just keep poking you. Except maybe I have that machine that if I pop the light on your arm, I'll be able to see your vein. Then that way I know where I'm putting the needle through. Other than that, Omo, I will just be poking you like a cushion. So anyway, I've got only a few more minutes to go here, and then I'm going to round up. So I'm just reading that post there. So obviously it says that they must prove they are investing in British workers and increasing British skills. That's the fair and right thing to do. Okay. And it went on to say that I know you are angry about immigration. I get it. Mark my words. I will take back control of our borders. That means cutting migration, ending the use of asylum hotels, and ramping up our efforts to stop small boats crossing. So you guys remember, yes, I was saying that how are they going to stop those coming via the boats? Like I said, when I read the 15 pages, the annex, the 15 pages, there was nothing about the small boats because, like I said, there was nothing. They didn't say anything. I would have imagined that they would have said something about it towards the changes of asylum, people coming in terms of the country that they are looking to ban. And like I said, Nigerians were mad at the fact that Nigeria is the top 3 country that they are looking to ban and stuff like that. So people will come in through the boat. Like I said, they could be criminals. You don't know them. You don't have their ID. Some of them are even claim that they came from a different country. Meanwhile, they have an original country that they've come from. So all of that, so we will smash the people smuggling, blah, 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 at source and all of that. And like I said, guys, that I do agree with some of the things he said, but also they were also saying that for people to get their settlement, that they will need to show that contribution by immigrants will be measured. So how are they open to measure the contributions of people who are looking to apply for ILR? How do they intend to measure that? Because it was not mentioned in the white paper how they intend to measure that. So it would be great if maybe we have the knowledge of how they intend to measure the contribution, because I would imagine that a migrant who is already here on a certain visa, they are not able to claim any sort of benefits. So if they're able to work, pay their rent, they are not chopping basic, they don't have any debts to pay and stuff like that. I would imagine that's enough for them to say, I've been a law-abiding citizen. Can I then apply for my ILR? So that's something else I was thinking about this morning. Like, okay, how do they intend to measure the contributions made by migrants? And also, like I said, we already watched that video. So I think the first video I shared with you, I think that should reassure you guys that if you're on the route to your ILR within the 5-year lane, you should still be able to apply. This new rule should not apply to you. And by the way, we listened to that video, and don't quote me, I am not giving immigration advice, but you heard that minister say it, and then the chairman in the house also answered to say they were going to maintain the 5-year for those who are currently on it, and the 10-year increase will not affect them. So with that being said, guys, I think I also, like, obviously I drop a comment there to say, okay, because me, I was just short of words, like what kind of dance or what kind of song do we sing to this bedu, or what kind of dance do we give to this song? And people, like I said, Nigerians are not happy. People are like, all this because African leaders have no sense, because what the F is UK? So yes, like if our government back home is treating us right, if they are making Nigeria livable, if they are making Nigeria bearable for citizens in Nigeria, there won't be need for people to, to want to leave, because at the end of the day, they are looking for greener pastures. They are looking to make sure that they are still able to live, and this person said, believe me, UK is poor now, so leave them and their country and try other unrecognized rich countries and have peace of mind. Even at that, some other countries as well, when they see that all of you are coming in, they will start typing papa. Remember, UK started this 2 years ago. Before we know it, Canada also do it. And then look at what is happening in Trump. Look at what's happening in the US now. Trump is dealing with everybody and anybody. So where do you want to go? I'm sure people don't want to go to Japan. People don't want to go to China. People don't want to go to all of these places, So I don't know. And like I said, Nigerians are not happy. This person said, no be your fault now. Now our country where no sabi use resources do better thing. Yes, I don't blame him. And this person said, he's talking to Nigerians, Indians, and Pakistanis. So those are the countries. No, Indian is not part of the country that they are looking to ban. Sri Lanka is the third country they are looking to ban. So this person said they are practically talking to people in that category. And they said UK small yash they shake. Like I said, Nigerians, when things like this happen, they always make it personal. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't really be taking this personal, okay? Obviously, like I said, if Nigeria was a good place, if Nigeria was good for us, we would not be coming here. And like I said, that does with the example I made in terms of my wages as a nurse, I don't think, even for the fact that I've schooled here, worked here, have nursing experience, I don't think there's any hospital, even if I go to the most expensive or the most recognized expensive hospital in Nigeria, they would not be able to pay me 5 million naira every month. They would not be able to pay me 5 million naira. So what are we talking about here? So that's that. And also I found Keir Starmer's Facebook page, and yes, in as much as people are bashing him, even people here are saying, Uncle sir, you're not doing the right thing. He's just receiving it in every corner. He's receiving it everywhere. He's receiving it everywhere. Let me share. He's going. I didn't even realize that he has a Facebook page until yesterday. So he has a Facebook page, and that was on his Facebook page that he shared that post actually. So that's the image he dropped there. So he's got a video saying that, I know you're angry about immigration, I get it. Mark my words, I'll take back, blah, blah, blah. And then people, obviously, people in comment section, people are like, why is he ignoring the rich people in this country? Because if you look at the true matter of things, the rich people, they are not really doing anything for the rich. They are not doing anything about the rich people, because at the end of the day, the rich are getting richer and the poor people are getting poorer. So that was where he made the post of settlement in the UK is a privilege that is earned, not rights. Okay, and he also said there that I'm backing British young people. We are charging employers to recruit more. So that was him still dropping posts as at yesterday. And also, this was his video. This is my promise to British people. Every area of our immigration system will be tightened up so we have more control and migrations will fall. Let's listen to that actually.
Will never hear me denigrate that. But when people come to our country, they should also commit to integration, to learning our language. And our system should actively distinguish between those that do.
By the end of the day, as Nigerians, you Nigeria, we know we speak English. Even if it's tatata, we speak English and we understand English. So,
and those that don't. I think that's fair. Equally, Britain must compete for the best talent in the world, in science, in technology, in healthcare. You can't simply pull up a drawbridge, let nobody in, and think that's an economy that would work. That would hurt the pay packets of working people without question. But at the same time, we do have to ask why parts of our economy seem almost addicted to importing cheap labour, rather than investing in the skills of people who are here and want a good job in their community. Sectors like engineering, where visas have rocketed while apprenticeships have plummeted. Is that fair to Britain? Is that fair to young people, weighing up their future to miss out on those apprentices? To see colleges in their community almost entirely dedicated to one-year courses for overseas students? No, I don't think that it is. And truth be told, I don't think anybody does. Yet that is the Britain this broken system has created. So as this white paper sets out, every area of the immigration system, work, family and study, will be tightened up so we have more control. Skill requirements raised to degree level.
With that being said, even before this white paper came out, some universities in Scotland are already threatening that they're going to close because they're already losing out on the fact that they don't get enough international students. And like somebody said, that do we know the percentage of income money that international students generate for Londoners or for the UK government? Do we know the amount of money that international students generate? So, like I said, even before this white paper came out, some universities in Scotland, I've seen posts that some universities in Scotland are looking to actually shut down some certain courses, and some are even looking at shutting down some annexes, because some of those universities often have a main campus and then they'll have multiple annexes in different cities. So they are now considering shutting down some of those annexes and just keeping their main campus. But then, what do I know?
English language requirements across all routes, including for dependent. The time it takes to acquire settled status extended from 5 years to 10, and enforcement tougher than ever, because fair rules must be followed. Now, make no mistake, this plan means migration will fall. That's a promise.
So that's what he has to say there. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to end this live stream here. I think I pretty much, the main reason why I was here was just to, that first video that I shared with you guys was just to maybe share that video. Maybe it will reassure some people who are concerned about the fact that, oh, I have only 1 year to go to apply for my ILR. Does that mean that I have another 5 years to go? So according to that first video, don't think you are impacted, okay? You are not impacted, according to that video that minister asked in the House of Parliament, saying that, Madam Chief Speaker, what do you know? So they are not to be impacted. So, and if you're still not unsure, maybe you want it in the written paper. You did hear the chairman said that, there's, before it even gets implemented, that they will give people the chance to comment, to ask and stuff like that. So as time goes on, I imagine they would make further things clear. And yes, all of these changes, like I said, and I think I shared a video yesterday as well, that it's not something that is just going to be push like that. it's still going to have to pass through a few phases, and then they implement it and pass it into the bill or whatever they pass it into. So that's just what I quickly want to come share with you here, that, you know, for those of you who are in Nigeria who have been taking courses because you want to come here, don't lose hope. Like I said, the care worker visa, they are only stopping it for 3 years. By 2028, they are going to review it again. And that's me. I'm not telling you to put your life on hold and wait for 2028. Try other countries. Try other countries. It's not a must you come to the UK. It's not a must you come to the US. It's not a must you come to Canada. Try other countries as well. And I'm imagining there are lots of countries that people are not even concentrating on. There are lots of countries that people are not really looking into. And with that being said, I've actually been looking around at countries that could obviously serve as, I mean, maybe kind of like a mirrors UK. But once I finish gathering all of that, I'll probably maybe just do a short video saying you can consider countries like this and country like this and country like this. With that being said, so don't lose hope yet, okay? Don't lose hope yet. It's not going to be that difficult. And also with this 10-year thing, they just want migration, like they just want people to stop coming. So you want to come here maybe next year now, just know that if you decide to come with all of your generation, all of your children, if you're coming with 3 children, be rest assured that you have no right to apply for any public funding for 10 years. And it is after 10 years that you'll be able to apply for HLR. That's that. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate your presence here. And Africans, migrants, wherever you are, don't lose hope. Obviously, like I said earlier in my earlier live stream, especially this is me now addressing Nigerians, like Nigerians with all of these things happening. It's clear what they want. It's clear what they are saying. And I think it's high time we start pushing on our government to do better. It's high time we start pulling all our government for accountability. Like, you know, you need to care for us. You need to do this. You need to give us. You said this is a democratic government. Why are you not allowing us? Why are you not allowing us hear our views? Why are you trying to, you know, cover our mouth? Why are you forcing people, politicians, people in government, why are you trying to force them on us? Allow us choose who we want, okay? So if you're not already following that reform INEC, go follow Randy Peters and other people who are already moving this motion, okay? The purpose man said this show will definitely be beneficial for a lot of people. Thank you so much. You're welcome. This show, I was trying to read it. And I'm like, I'll just read it as it is, anyways. But I understand. Obviously, by the time I finish reading the sentence, I understand what you meant. So, with that being said, guys, I will just go. And yes, guys, I'm coming live at 7 o'clock. And this is not for immigration talk or anything like that. There's a major. I'm trying to solicit for something for somebody. I was going to schedule a live stream, but I chose not to. And I will just come at 7 o'clock. Please set up turn on your bell so that once I come live, you'll be able to join me and come with your charity mind, okay? Because I'm here to ask for something. And I know a lot of you appreciate what I do here. And I know that a lot of you obviously believe in helping someone who is down, okay? So I'm going to be coming back here at 7 o'clock to ask for something. I know you guys will not disappoint me, okay? So with that being said, thank you so much, guys. Let me go take an afternoon nap, and I'll see you at 7 o'clock, okay? I do have a live stream that was meant to do for 7 o'clock tonight, but I'm going to have to push that live stream for this thing that I'm coming to beg you for. So come with your charity mind, though. I've said it, and I'm begging. Please come with your charity mind. And I'm sure you guys will be able to do it for me. Thank you so much, Abby. Abby, I think I should give you permission now. You are off duty for the rest of the week. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you guys later, all right? Bye, everyone. And please like and share, okay? Like and share, okay?